Hey, it's Justin. It's day 14 of the meaning and significance of the resurrection of Jesus. And today I want to talk with you about the Mount Rushmore. Now, I'm not just talking about that sculpture on the side of a mountain in South Dakota, I believe it is. But I want to talk about Mount Rushmore in the sense of the way Bill Simmons uses it. Now, Bill Simmons is a sports writer, and formerly of ESPN, but he's somewhere else now. And he likes to talk about his Mount Rushmore as being the top 4 most influential or dominant basketball players. And so if you're thinking about your top 4 of all time, who would you include in that? And so if I'm thinking about mine, I'm thinking, Michael Jordan has to be number 1. Wilt Chamberlain's probably up there too. Larry Bird perhaps would be my 3rd one. And then I've got like LeBron or Kobe maybe as number 4. It's really hard. There's a lot of good options there. There's a lot. So really hard to pick 4 only. But yeah, so if you got a question about that, let's talk about it. But the Mount Rushmore, I'm not going to really dwell on basketball so much today, as I want to talk about the Mount Rushmore in light of the life of Jesus. What would be the 4 biggest events in the life of Jesus? And for me, I'm obviously going to include the birth there. You gotta that Jesus took on flesh, became man's number 1. That's the first one we got to include. Then we got to include the death, of course, the crucifixion. That's number 2. The resurrection goes along right with that, of course. You got to include the resurrection. Number 4, I'm kind of iffy on. I want to say maybe the feeding of the 5,000. All 4 of the Gospels recount that one for us in great detail. Maybe the Sermon on the Mount could be an option there. I think I'm leaning away. I was originally leaning towards the feeding of the 5,000. I'm probably leaning towards the temptation in the wilderness now. I think that's just an epic event. It is so important. That really, I think that one and the feeding of the 5,000 kind of go together in Jesus becoming the new Israel and the faithful one and overcoming the works of the devil. It's really hard, to pick the 4th one there. But nonetheless, out of the 4, whichever one you want to pick, what's the principal one? What's the number 1? And I want to go to 1 Corinthians 15:3 and say that it's got to be the resurrection. This is what the disciples are running around talking about. They're not like, so there's a let me give you an example here of why I think this is needful to talk about. There's an old hymn which I love called "Go Tell It on the Mountain," and it goes like this. It goes, "Go tell on the mountain, over the hills everywhere. Go tell on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born." And it's just born. He's born. And it never really gets around to the death and resurrection stuff. And I'm just like, well, he did more than just be born, to save us. He had to do more. And I think that's exactly right. The birth is a central part of the story. It's like we talked about with faith. You got to have the key when you're driving the NASCAR. You have to have one, but it's not the most important. The most important is the resurrection. This is why when Paul went to the Corinthians, he said in 1 Corinthians 15 that I came to you proclaiming first and foremost that Jesus died and then on the 3rd day was risen from the dead. It's the resurrection, y'all. This is what they're going around telling people about. This is the big news, that Jesus was dead and now he's alive again for our justification. That God has accepted Jesus as a payment for our sin, a sacrifice to atone for our sin, and has accepted his life as a righteous substitute for ours. Our life is hidden in him through faith. His death is ours, and his life is ours, and ours goes to him, and he atones for us. He wins us. He overcomes the devil for us. And that's why the resurrection for me has got to be not just on the mountain, but it's number 1. It's going to be in the George Washington place, probably. It's going to be number 1 there as you're driving up to it. So, all right, so what are your 4? I want to hear from you. I know we're probably mostly going to agree on the top 3, but what's your 4th one on the Mount Rushmore? So comment below. Let me know. And also, let me know your top 4 basketball guys, your top 4 NBA guys, maybe your top. I would even like to know, what are your top 4 MLB guys, NFL guys too, whatever you want to talk about. But comment below. Let's get some conversations going under this video. And y'all like it, comment, subscribe, hit the subscribe button. We need some subscribers, and we're gonna go tell it. We're gonna go spread the news that this is the most important thing you'd ever hear about. And that's why we're broadcasting tomorrow. We're going to broadcast our first ever virtual worship service because of the coronavirus. And so y'all be safe. Watch worship online. Practice your social distancing. You can tune into our channel, and we'll have a folder where you can go watch the live stream as well. And keep up on the videos. We'll be back for number 14 tomorrow. Go tell on the mountain, not just that Jesus was born, but he rose again from the dead for our salvation. All right, y'all. Take care. See you day 15 tomorrow. Bye-bye.